refresh. Yep. That is definitely not how we start. We're definitely not going to do that. Jeff is here. We're definitely going to do that. No, I'm just. Test.
Pulls on the old hard hat, another paycheck busted flat, and he looks at the clock, wishes it was time to go home. Every day it's the same old thing, pick up that hammer, give her a swing, and he hopes to hit the lotto to live the American dream. He don't know what he don't know. Any time could be his time to go. You gotta live each day. Put your foot on the gas and roll. He's on the 9-mile road, running down a rainbow, searching for that pot of gold. He's on the 9-mile road, with one foot on the brake. He's only gonna get old. She's headed to the office today, double caramel latte on the way. She's got a lot on her mind, she's really got a busy day. Water heater's broken, there's trouble at home. Her husband took her money, now she's all alone, and she needs to hit the lotto to live the American dream. She don't know what she don't know. Anytime could be her time to go. You gotta live each day. Put your foot on the gas and roll. She's on the 9-mile road, running down a rainbow, searching for that pot of gold. She's on the 9-mile road, with one foot on the brake. She's only gonna get old.
9-Mile Road by Ludlow Creek on QSJ Radio. Hold up.
He's killing it. Watch out. He's showing love and he's mad about it. Mad love. That's why we say. Come on, man. You already know. Mad love.
Welcome to Mad Luck, QSJ Radio's home of the unsigned artists live podcast. I have one of 5 members here of Ludlow Creek. We have Jeffrey Friend. Hi, Friend.
How you doing?
Oh man, I don't know how many years you've been getting that one, but
A few.
so we right there, that song, it is off of the Hands of Time album. It was released all over probably about like maybe 90 days or so ago. It's been doing a lot of traction worldwide. But we're not here for that. We'll get to that here in a second. What I want to know is how in 2013 did all of a sudden the buddies, the friends, the lovers decided, hey, let's do something together. Like,
Well,
cause
That's kind of an interesting story. Tom bass player, and Michelle, who is the keyboard player, are married, of course. They have a place out in the country, a nice A-frame house with lots of land. And twice a year, they would do what they call a rock fest, where
Wow.
they would have all their musician friends come over, and there would be 4 or 5 bands play, and all their friends would show up. And it was basically just a big Woodstock, big local Woodstock.
In the
Yeah,
country. Out there, out there in the stars.
out
Wow.
there to start. And everybody's in different bands. We're all in different bands, but we're all friends. We all know each other. And at some point down the line, around 2013, we lost the band that I was playing in, which was an 80s cover band, lost our singer. And so we could only do half of a show. So I said, Tom, can you and Michelle, and maybe we'll grab Alan, who's a guitar player, maybe we can throw up enough material that we can get through it. You could open for us for an hour. I'll play drums. We'll just get a little band together to do that, and then that will open for our band. Okay, great. So we did a couple of shows like that, and we had so much fun doing it that we decided we really ought to do this, full time. I mean, we ought to go whole hog with it, right?
Yeah.
So we get this thing started, and we're thinking about what kind of music are we going to do? Well, in Ohio, in our area, the big thing going on right there is country. I mean, country's huge, but we're rockers. Everybody in the band is a rocker. So let's do the Southern rock thing. So we're
Wow.
doing Allman Brothers and Leonard Skinner and all the, Southern rock stuff. And we worked as a cover band for a long time, did festivals all over the area, just had a big old time. But we decided that, I kind of have a background in recording. So I used to write jingles. I'm one of those guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I used to write the car dealer jingles, the whole 9 yards. And so
It's good money, though, right? That's good money.
Yeah. It does okay. Got me, basically survived as a musician.
Yeah.
But, we started putting material together. Alan had quite a few tracks, and Dave had a few tracks, and we all just kind of pooled all our better songs and whittled it down to 8. And we thought, well, we'll release these 8 and just see what happens. And boom, here we are.
So we are talking about rockers that decided to go to a friend's house every 6 months.
Pretty much.
With all the community locals, which I know that's a fest as it is, okay, as that's a lot of jamming, that's a lot of talking crap. Let's get serious, but and then all of a sudden you're like, let's go classic, let's go classic country. Because it is big. It brings me to this single because, country, they really don't. When we get to this single, I'll get to how different and why this is going to be impactful for that kind of community. All right. But before then, so you guys known each other for years. You do the whole Woodstock version of whatever you guys got going on.
Yeah.
The married
deep cuts. Nothing but deep cuts.
And now things are getting serious. You're coming up with your own material because most of all we're cover bands. And now things are starting to kick off. They're getting crazy, and then COVID.
Yes, COVID.
COVID is the beast that made the entertainment people either fade away or grow. How did you guys handle that?
We played a gig, full house, the day before they announced that we're going to shut everything down for 2 weeks. And we thought, well, all right, 2 weeks, we can do 2 weeks, no problem. Next thing you know, it's 2 years. We did. I'll tell you, we were busy through that time, though. I had, everybody has a little recording set up, and they're sending me tracks, and I'm assembling songs here during COVID. In fact, we just finished our next album. It's in production now. So we did that during COVID, and it was exciting. It was hard, but we pulled it off.
So I hear that there was also a retreat involved in this to head to Nashville.
Yeah.
And how important was that for writing? How important was that?
It's huge. The band has always had individual writers bringing songs to the band, and the band, taking those songs and going from there. But we took the Nashville retreat, and we had 3 songs right away. Everybody just kind of chipping in. I had some lyrics. Alan had a riff. Next thing you know, we had 3 songs, and we were just having a blast. We took them up on the bridge in Nashville and sat up on the bridge with a cajon and a couple of acoustic guitars and played music. It was a blast. It was really very energizing. We decided we're going to do this every 3 or 4 months.
I've been to Nashville, and I went as an artist, and I'm going to tell you, it's powerful down there.
Oh, yeah.
It is. Every left turn, there is some kind of inspiration. Yep. And, you don't have to like corn on a cob to to fit in. It's incredible down there. But anyways, so I came across your new video, Stony Lonesome Road.
Yep.
And I'm going to play this. I'm probably even going to show it to everybody who's listening. And I just got to talk about this one because it's minimal writing, deep enough conversation. It's an amazing song here. This is Ludlow Creek with Stony Lonesome Road on QSJRadio.com.
Look in the mirror and I'm 8 years old. And out my bedroom window, spring flowers start to grow. Then barefoot I go running down Stony Lonesome Road. I look in the mirror, 19 years old. Out my bedroom window, a summer wind softly blows. With my sweetheart I go walking down Stony Lonesome Road. Stony Lonesome Road. Whippoorwills and sunshine, cottontails and grapevines, my mother and father smile on Stony Lonesome Road. Stony Lonesome Road. I look in the mirror, how the years they unfold. And out my window, fall puts on a colorful show. Now watch my children playing on Stony Lonesome Road. Whippoorwills and sunshine, cottontails and grapevines, my mother and father smile on Stony Lonesome Road. Stony Lonesome Road. Stony Lonesome Road. Stony Lonesome Road. Lined with old red dog and limestone walls. Stony Lonesome Road. Sometimes I still hear you call. Well, I hear you call. When I'm coming home. I look in the mirror at a man that's grown old. And from this chair that I must sit, I watch a cold winter snow. But in my mind I go running. Whippoorwills and sunshine, cottontails and grapevines, my mother and father smile on Stony Lonesome Road. Stony Lonesome Road. Stony Lonesome Road. And it won't be long till I see their smiles on the Stony Lonesome Road.
I had to let it go. I know I said I wouldn't, but I had to because, wow, there's a lot of wow in this. I'm looking at it as in the eyes of a father. I'm looking at it as in eyes of a brother, as a son. I'm looking at this, hearing this, and I'm visualizing my whole life. I'm like as a kid, as growing up, and even if it's as a small visit, and then I know at the end, it was more of I'll see my parents again. It's I don't even know if Stony Lonesome's a real place, or is it a reference to what people call their small towns? Like, because I don't know. I don't care because I'm Stony Lonesome Road is real.
Stony Lonesome Road is real. It's in West Virginia. My writing partner, this is a song my writing partner and I wrote. It's about his father and the place where his father grew up. His father was in a wheelchair. And when he was younger, he wasn't. He was affected later in life.
Yeah.
But he grew up in this little place in West Virginia. And in fact, my writing partner used to go back there as a kid. He would go there, every summer and hang out with his cousins and spend time there. So he had a real affection for Stony Lonesome Road. And it just, he has a great way with words. He writes lyrics, I write music, and it's a perfect match.
It is.
We've been working together forever, and it's just an amazing song.
So there is no there's no siding. You were lead vocalist in this song here and drumming at the same time, which is an incredible talent. Big shout out to that.
Thank you.
What one of the people I look up to, Phil Collins. started off as as a drummer and a vocalist in the back, so I already know the vibes. Like I got this. Don't worry. So eh, what's really crazy for me is I've always wanted to know when people are writing songs, and especially when it has almost nothing to do with you. You made it feel like it was, like how do you get into that zone? Because you can put the music together all day, but to make someone, and then everybody's with you.
Yeah.
It's amazing how you put that together.
It I don't know. A lot of times he'll send me tons and tons and tons of lyrics, and some of them don't. Some of them I look at and it's like I got nothing. I just got nothing. But every once in a while he'll send something that's like, oh, that speaks, and it's just I pick up a guitar and I start charting out chords and writing a melody, and it just that's how it starts. And I'll take that I'll take that to the band and let the band flush that out a little bit. And yeah,
It is.
everybody kind of got this one.
It had to. And
Yeah.
it that had a lot to do with life, you
Oh, yeah.
know. And as you got, there's notes. We all aging right now. You guys know you got it. You got you got the salt and pepper going. You know it. So
Coming.
that had to. That had to. Oh man, I think I played it like 40 times in the last week. It's it's okay, right? It's okay. Now,
Yeah, it's good.
so if you guys are just tuning in, we're talking to Mr. Friend here, Jeffrey Friend, one of 5 members of the Ludlow Creek band. That we just playing their song "Stony Lonesome Road," and we're breaking down these songs because you got to understand too, these individuals were rockers. All right, we're talking about breaking stuff on stage. No, probably not that serious, but enough. Probably look at him. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, we were.
There have been moments.
That's great. And now they actually, uh, I would say, chimed it down. But I was reading some of these comments in these videos, and I think one of your fans, where I love the direction that you guys are going. So people have known what you guys have been doing and going towards the left, right? I guess, I mean, don't mean that in no political way, but just turning to another way. Is this it obviously music is music. If you can make it and make it sound good and work on it, and you guys been doing this for years and have been in bands, so the severity already. You can't just come in and think you can do something and just release it. It's
There's got to be a creative spark there.
and then
There's gotta
and
be
you just
that.
said it. If you guys didn't know, Jeff just came from rehearsal. It's like this is a very serious thing going on. You just don't come up with the magic. But my thing is, has it been easy for everyone to transition?
Well, it hasn't been easy for our local fans because our local fans are used to seeing us out 2 or 3 times a month playing someplace. And so now we're not doing that cover thing anymore. We're doing something different, and it's a little tougher on them
Wow.
locally. But we have a great following, and they still come out to see us. It's just that they kind of miss us doing the cover thing.
And as a musician, and if you guys haven't heard before, Jeff has been doing jingles, which means that there's deadlines for things to be met, and you cross your fingers that they accepted it, and all this is because you spend all this time making this music, and you don't even know if you're gonna win. But I guess where I was going was the amount of, I really forgot where I was going with that. But anyways, it's all right. It's all right. Listen, if you guys are just tuning in, ludlowcreek.com for more information. If you guys can't get all the information here, Hands of Time is out right now. And Ludlow Creek is not a new band. They've known each other for a very long time. They put all their years into it, and you can hear this in their music. And if you haven't really paid attention, we went from 9 Mile Road to another road, and now we're into another road, which I'm going to give my aspect on how almost this is territory I have not seen before in country music. And I don't know a lot of country, but I know enough that takes me back maybe 70 years. Okay, so maybe I do know something. Okay, one of the biggest, craziest things that I've never seen in country was specific, deliberate writing on political issues. You know, they've always covered it up with a beer. They covered it up with a banjo. They're saying something in the song, but they're making the local community not go deliberate. In this song, What About Love? Some of these things are so deliberate that I don't know how that community is going to open their arms. You just got to rely on your fans on this one. This is what I'm believing. I don't know if anybody has said something like that.
Well, to be honest with you, it is talking about that situation, the presidential election that we just recently went through. But moreover than not, it doesn't really say who really thought was the right one. We just say, we got to get along. We got to learn how to deal with this, guys. I mean, the world is divided, and we got to fix this, because if we don't fix this, we're not going to fix anything.
You know, and it's a lovely song. All right, I'm on your side, if that means anything. But you know, it in a world of country, it is almost as if you have to be one side, and it's literally hard. But if you guys want to understand, you know, and people are going to get controversial in the chat about it, I already know, but it's okay. But I know, like, yes, patriotic music is one thing, but it's patriotic to a way where it's undying, right? There's no undying. In What About Love, the lyrics, they take you into current times, and probably timeless, because this is not going to be the first time this is going to happen. Was not the first time this happens. And the conversations are not the first time these things happen. It just seems to be on a share button. And if I can share your conversation with me versus we will talk about that 20 years later. No, now everybody knows our conversation, and whatever I say or you say can be influenced in so many ways. But enough about that. Ludlow Creek has, I believe, done something that it's very hard to do in country, which is be patriotic in a way that you also see the pain in it, the pain in being patriotic. Everybody knows right now, at least my audience, we have to get along. There's nothing else that we want to do as humans except be able to walk outside, go to the store, and come back. Drop our kids off, pick them up,
know that they are safe,
and all that. This is something across the board, and if it's not across the board, then maybe there's something that maybe somebody needs some pills. You know, I don't know what else to say. But we're going to introduce this song. I just wanted to throw my aspect. I love the song. I think it's a very, very different. and is What About Love. It is available all over the place, people. If you guys want it, if you guys just want to test it out or whatever, stream it over there at ludlowcreek.com. They got a music, they got everything there is for you. Contact information, join the newsletter. Let's get serious. But anyways, enough of my ranting or whatever I was doing. What About Love, Ludlow Creek on QSJRadio.com.
Called an old friend today. I didn't really have much to say, just shooting the breeze and talking about the good old days. He started talking about the president and didn't think that he was making sense, and I found myself on the wrong side of the fence. He got mad and he hung up the phone, and I just sat there all alone, wondering what on earth the world is coming to. What about love? What about peace, love, and understanding? What about getting along even when we disagree? And what about grace? Putting a smile upon your face. We can make this world a better place when we start with love. I can't turn on the evening news. The newspapers have divided views, and I can't tell who is telling the truth. They say it's darkest before the dawn, but well, I'm afraid we're too far gone. Cause people are happy to tell you when you're wrong, wrong, wrong. But then I have to step back and think, this is why society is on the brink. We just need a little something to hold on to. What about love? What about peace, love, and understanding? What about getting along even when we disagree? And what about the race? And putting a smile upon your face. We can make this world a better place. We start with love.
I promise, Jeff, I wouldn't do that. Go ahead and go stream it. It is such a lovely song. I feel like singing it. Hold on.
What about peace, love, and understanding? What about getting along even when we disagree? What about the praise? Putting a smile upon your face. We can make this world a better place. What about love? What about peace, love, and understanding? What about getting along even when we disagree? What about the race? And putting a smile upon your face. We can make this world a better place when we start with love. When we start with love. When we start with love.
Ludlow Creek. What About Love?
We start with love.
Streaming all over. Please go ahead and stream it. Put it on your playlist. It's okay. You need that. Anyways, big shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com. Home to the unsigned artist. Ludlow Creek's own Jeffrey Friend is with us, and you're getting a lot of crazy, lovely, and weird reviews on these songs. How do you deal with reviews of your songs, especially when it comes with some bloggers here, some radio guys here. It
Mostly, thus far, we've had nothing but a lot of positive. Uh, and everybody is entitled to their own opinion. And if 25 people say we love it, and one guy goes, okay, that's fine, that's his opinion. But we still have to do what we do. I mean, we're musicians, we're creative people. We don't operate unless we're doing this. I mean, we just can't get by. We have to do this. So
yeah.
this is what we do.
And it's lovely to see. Now, my big question about Ludlow is, did you guys even think it would be like this? Did you guys know it would be almost 10 years as a band in the middle? No one knew about the pandemic, but I don't know how it was to gather everybody up and say, hey, they're taking the mask off. So are we're going down the road or what?
Yeah. When we started this thing, I don't think any of us really thought that, we just didn't think more than, we're just going to put a little band together and have some fun and that'll be great. And actually we started in 2013, somewhere around 2016, there was a little lineup change for a year or two. And I was part of that lineup change. I went out and did a blues band for about 2 years. The band kept going. They pulled in another drummer. And basically it was Dave Benson, the guitar player's brother, came in and played drums for him for 2 years. And at the end of that 2 years, they came. It was an interesting thing. There was a tornado here in town.
Wow.
And it tore up a bunch of trees where we used to do these rock fests. I mean, the place was ravaged. So everybody was climbing in and helping out, to help get all these trees cleared out. So I showed up to do that one day, and Tom pulled me aside and goes, can we talk for a minute? And the minute he said it, I knew what he was going to ask me. I knew he was going to say, can you come back and play with us for a while? And I'm like, I couldn't wait to come back and play with those guys because I really had a blast doing it when we did it. And I kind of felt like me leaving was a mistake. So, little backstory there on that whole thing. But we are one big happy family. And, people stray, they come back. It's part of the family.
Yeah. And I love how you put it. You guys listen to Jeff Friend. He said people stray, but they come back. Because that's what family is.
That's what family is. It's all about forgiveness. It's all about welcoming people in, open arms, love everybody, man. You gotta love people.
You have to love people. That's
yeah, man.
There's nothing else. Let's not do it. I think the old American whiskey is getting to me now. But let's talk about Jeff and Jeff, like, jingles to bands to your the vocals are so strong. I don't know, you got a lot of years on you, and I don't know if you kept what kept motivation. What were some of your inspirations as you were trying to keep going? Because music life is kind of serious.
It's a tough road. It really is. I was lucky. I got a job in a studio early on, and that studio then did a lot of ad work, jingles and commercials. I then kind of left that agency, went with another agency, which we did bigger stuff. We were doing mall groups around the country, and this was back in the 80s. Then in the 90s, I kind of opened my own studio and did more music for radio and television. Did a lot of scores for videos, and then about 9/11, everybody's marketing budget dried up. There wasn't anything to do. I couldn't make a buck. I mean, I was painting my house one summer because I had no work.
Yeah.
And people would call me and say, "Who built the website for your studio?" I'm like, "Well, I had to get a book and learn how to do it."
Yeah, for real.
I'm
HTML.com.
broke. Yeah, I'm broke. So, yeah. So, people would call me and say, "Can you build one of those for me?" It's like, well, okay. So next thing I
Wow.
know, I'm building more websites than I'm doing music, and so I took 10 years off and just did that. But
Webmaster over here. Okay.
well, once you get music in your blood, it's a
Yeah.
disease. I mean, you can't give it up. You have to keep doing it. And so pretty soon I heard the call around 2009. I heard that call and I had to start playing again. And about 2013, ran into Tom and Michelle and Alan and Dave. And it's all just blown up from there.
It is amazing to be able to hear this process because, musicians have a habit of putting an age limit on themselves. And I don't think it goes away, really.
No.
There's always a crowd for some people. There's always a crowd. And I tell them all the time, I'm like, I don't care if you're young, medium, or large. All right? Like, come on. Because at this time, it's a life story that you guys are putting on wax. That's it. There's just no. Why? I'm not going to talk about my younger age. Yeah, I might, but that might have to be a behind the scenes story. That's not something I'm not going to do that here now. Are you crazy? But it's so 10 years off.
Yeah.
You had to have the drum set at least.
Oh, the drums were here, but I just didn't play them. I mean, I just didn't play them. I play guitar, I play keyboards. I didn't play anything. I mean, it just took the time off.
Wow.
And it was,
that had to be hard. And someone asked
it. It wasn't hard. And I'll tell you why, as artists, when you're doing a solo artist thing, and bad things happen or you get bad reviews or, things don't work out for you, it's really easy to just say, wow, I suck. I'm not good. I must not be good or something,
because of everybody's opinion. And because
I mean, it's just easy to kind of fold inside of yourself and take it really hard. But when you're in a band and you're in a team like this, like with Ludlow Creek, when something happens, it rolls off our back and we're like, let's go, let's do something else. Let's try a different path. And it's such a different thing for me. To be in a band as opposed to be trying to do this by yourself.
Jeff, that brings us to somebody in the chat wants to ask Bossy V from Brooklyn, New York. When it comes to music, do you think that you struggled with probably mental health?
Do I struggle with mental health? I think that I have issues with depression.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm not afraid to say that. I mean, I think a lot of people struggle with depression.
And Bossy also asked, did you ever get writer's block? But earlier we talked about how the band went on a retreat to try to help with that. So they went to Nashville and they actually had a retreat, and he said 3 songs just popped out of nowhere.
And we did this exact same thing about 3 months later. We went to Hocking Hills in Ohio, just rented a big cabin, set all our stuff up, and we had a blast. Another 3-4 songs came out. So, and all those songs are pegged for album 3.
So it's album 3. Wow. Did you?
We're working on album 3 right now.
They're not ready. I'm not ready. So this approach of being I think I've read something about not afraid to talk about what's going on here, but finding an optimist view of things. Is that the message going on now, or are you guys just working with songs, writing songs, and I don't know how you get 5 people in the same room to agree with a song, and I can't even get 5 people in this house to agree with the dishes.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Like,
well, the amazing thing is there is a chemistry that happens, and we all kind of know our place and where we fit in the creative process, and it's amazing to watch it kind of bloom, because one person will come in with an idea and someone will interject something. It's like, oh yeah, that's really cool, and then somebody else will say, well, if we do that, what about this? And the next thing you know, all these ideas are piling in, and it just turns into something really cool.
Someone asking, Karen Bottom out of Wisconsin wants to ask, does the music come first and then write lyrics, or vice versa? You are a musician yourself. You create most of the songs and tell, hey, play this, play that. I'm sure everybody has their input after everything, but what is the process when you guys are creating music?
Well, for me, and we are all individual writers, so we all have our own process, but my process always starts with the lyrics. I always have a lyric or some semblance, even if it's just the chorus. I'll have a lyric so that I can create a melody, and then I'll build a chord structure behind that. And then from that point, we move forward and, okay, what is this? What's the groove? What's this supposed to feel like? But, it always starts with lyrics, lyrics for me.
One of the songs that we first introduced our audience to a few months ago was Instant Replay.
Yeah.
For some reason, Instant Replay got a lot of love out there. It sounds like a lot of history is in there. What's going on with Instant Replay over here?
Here's the deal with Instant Replay. Is we had written most everything, but we really didn't have one of those rocker kind of songs that, feel good rocker type songs. And I thought, well, let's just, get our pen out and see what we can come up with. So that song, I kind of threw the lyrics together. I brought an idea to the band and said, here's kind of what I'm thinking. And the band grabbed it and ran with it. And it just turned out way bigger than I thought it would, way better than I thought it would ever turn out.
Well, this is Instant Replay right now on QSJ Radio. One of our last breaks here. One of our last breaks here. Instant Replay, Ludlow Creek, and I after this, I want to know about Ludlow Creek. I want to know.
The early bird gets the goods deal.
Good morning.
That's great. I have an ad. Hold on a second. Big shout out to everybody listening. It's not embarrassing. It just happens. Right? It just happens.
He ain't no DJ.
Let's bring out the mean chorus.
He sure acts like one. Traffic light. Traffic light is spinning everybody. Send those tracks in now.
It was just a jingle.
When you're having fun, like sitting in a tub on a beach in the sun. replay. Let's do it again. Down the road a time or two, but I still get that feeling when I'm looking at you. Another year older, you're still looking the same. You knocked me out with those big green eyes, long tall legs and those American thighs. Call me crazy, I'm still mad about you. Come on, baby, let's go see about you. I need a instant replay. Can't go wrong with a instant replay. All night long. Instant replay. Till you say when I need an instant replay. Let's do it again. Instant replay. Woo! Instant replay.
That's got to be the opener in every show right there. No, let me it is, right? Oh, instant replay. You guys can stream that everywhere. That is just a statement they're making. You know, let me give you guys an applause. Of course. It has to be because, you know, I can only imagine, you know, you're setting up, you're tuning, and the next thing you know, it's like, well, let's liven up the crowd, you know.
Let's liven it up.
And you
Make it
know
rock.
that as rockers. You know that as rockers.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. Big shout out to everybody listening. Ludlow Creek is here with us. Jeffrey Friend, representing one of 5 members. What I want to know is, so you get back to the band and then you're like lead singer or something. You're the guy with the strong voice, or is it that you exchange different songs and some people switch up to be the lead vocalist? What's
You know, I'm not sure. It just kind of happens organically. I don't really know. We don't really sit around and think about, well, this would be a good song for you, or this would be a good song for you. It just kind of happens organically. I don't know. There's no real rhyme or reason. I can't give you a rhyme or reason on that one.
Oh, it's fine. It's
It
okay.
just works.
Do you remember of your first song ever written and recorded? And do you still
I
have it?
still
around?
have it.
You
If
still
I have it. It's on a cassette somewhere.
Oh, you gotta
Yeah.
you gotta put that on like some kind of MP3 format. You gotta do it. I'm sure there's some adapter you can get for that. I was just talking
yeah.
about that.
Yeah. It's kind of an interesting song, and I did it with my first 4-track recorder. I had an open reel 4-track recorder, and the cool thing about an open reel 4-track recorder is that you could get the play head and the record head to kind of feed back a little bit, and so you could get this echo thing happening. And so I was playing a Fender Rhodes piano and singing over that, but I had the echo happening, and it was just super cool, and it just worked out. I don't know. It's a pretty cool. It's goofy lyrics, but it's a cool song.
Now I hear you said this earlier. If you guys were paying attention, he became kind of a sound engineer. And did that come from experience, or did you go ahead and just get taught that? Did you
Kind of got thrown into that?
Wow.
You know, I was hired as a producer at the studio, and there was another engineer. There were 2 other engineers working there, and so I would write and create stuff, and they would, you know, engineer it. And then late night, you know, you're here, you got a deadline, you're working late. There's no engineer there, so you kind of got to figure out how to make this happen yourself. And so the more of that you do, the better you get at it. And next thing you know, you're doing a lot of that. And I still, though, prefer to have another engineer. I prefer to record the stuff myself and give it to another engineer and let them mix it. I really do. It's better to have another set of ears on your material because they'll hear something in there that you've not thought about, and they'll take it in a direction that you hadn't really thought about. Sometimes it's amazing. So
So if any artists that are listening in there and this are happening to you behind the scenes, you're doing good. You're doing good.
that's
Just
right.
don't release songs that does make it might make sense to you, but please take the time to have someone listen to it because you might need to set back and fix something, you know, especially somebody you trust, you know, that.
Absolutely.
So you this Ludlow Creek is something. It's something everybody's talking about. We're talking about magazines. Are talking about you guys. We're talking about bloggers. People are sharing you all over the place. iTunes charts and everything is going on. Something that you guys thought was gonna, what if we get together? This I can only imagine this happen. What if we all get together and we just surprise everybody at the next event that we're all together, and we'll just do our thing. And and next thing you know, it's 10 years later, almost 10 years later, 3 albums, and I'm sure everybody is still loving the vibes. I'm loving the vibes. You're taking awards. Congratulations on that, because awards are it's a thing in music. It's a thing.
It is a thing, yeah.
And but for me, it's like, what is Ludlow Creek? Like, what is that? Like, where did?
Well, Ludlow Creek, honestly, Ludlow, there was a surveyor by the name of Ludlow who, all through the Ohio Valley, surveyed and created maps. And somewhere along the line, they got this creek named after him, Ludlow Creek, which runs through right behind our practice facility. And it's on the property where the rock fests all happen. So
Wow.
Ludlow Creek runs through there, and when we're looking, the band originally was called Southbound. That was our cover band name, and you couldn't find us on Amazon or anywhere as the name Southbound because there's a million Southbound bands.
Wow.
There's just a million of them. So we thought, well, we've got to change our name. We've got to rethink this thing from the ground up. And so, we did a little research, realized that, well, Ludlow Creek has not been taken. No other bands have that. It's really, the only thing on the internet about it is the creek. So, okay, well, we can do this. So we just got busy.
You've seen so much change on how to produce, promote, market as a musician. And someone who has actually seen this hands-on, where you're letting go of your songs and crossing your fingers. A lot of people don't understand that's a real experience for musicians. You create what you believe, and don't take me for what my ignorance or whatever, but you create a masterpiece. You create something of a short jingle, what represents a company, and you just cross your fingers. A lot of artists these days don't even want to let go of their music. They don't believe that that's a real thing. Sometimes you have to just let the song go and let it make you popular. And what I'm talking about is, people license your stuff. Like, your name is going to be on it. You might not see all the benefits from it, but your name is with it. Just let it go. This is your butterfly. You have to let it go. No one knows the beauty of it if you keep it in the house.
Right.
And
what happens with it?
So, you've seen a whole bunch of this through the years. Recording styles. Recording has become easier and accessible to a lot of people. And how has social media played when it comes to not only your career, but to Ludlow Creek?
Well, I'm not really the best person to talk to about social media because I'm the introvert in the band, and so
Wow, this is ridiculous. So
yeah,
everybody, this is not real.
yeah, this is real. The other guy, there are a couple of guys in the band that are really good with social media. I'm not. I'm the guy. Leave me in the studio with the instruments, and we'll just have fun. That's my thing.
Wow, that's
And everybody in the band kind of has a thing. Tom does a lot of the booking. Michelle does all the cooking, all the stenography. She's kind of running herd on all of us. Dave and Alan, they're just amazing. I mean, everybody has a role, and just as you said, you got to sometimes let your songs go. You just have to give those delegate those issues to different people and say, "This is your baby."
so when it comes to like preparing versus 10 years ago, maybe even 20, because I think we're stuck at 10 years right now with recording. I think it's been consistent. But developing a song, getting familiar with software, hardware, different kinds of wires. A lot of people think this stuff is easy, but it's really not. It takes a lot of experience, learning some fundamentals through it. Do you think technology has helped with your experience in recording?
Yes, I mean definitely. The fact that if you have a computer and some good software and an interface and a microphone, you can pretty much do what you need to do. I do full-blown demos here, just me. I'll play drums, I'll play keys, I'll play bass with a synth, and I'll just do the whole thing, sing all the vocal parts. But it's not cool like when you have a band playing. When a band sits down and starts doing it, that's when it really rocks. And being able to do this with, bring your computer into the rehearsal hall, you got everything set up, and just, if you have a good day, have a good rehearsal, you got a good take. If not, we'll do it next time. So it really has made it easier to work to get good takes. Back in the day, we did all this on tape, and there wasn't any going back and fixing anything.
No.
It was just kind of
one try. One try and then edit like, okay, we got to do better at this part.
Right. But now, I mean, you can go back and fix some of those things, and it has made it easier to get a really, really good polished recording.
If you guys are just joining us, we're talking to Jeffrey Friend from Ludlow Creek's band. It is one of five. We do Alan Shields, Dave Benson, Michelle Scarpelli, right? And Tom Scarpelli. They play big roles on this band, and they have been, a name for about 10 years. And, we've talked a lot, and at the end of the conversation, beginning of the conversation, you guys have to understand it's all about what about love, like it's all love. If there's no love, I don't know what you're doing. It's just it doesn't even make sense, really, And Jeff, I got this question. I asked a lot of people, but as someone who has not only had their own music career, had their own internet career, being a webmaster, such an introvert, but he's so involved. It's so funny. But this music journey introduces you to new musicians all the time. Some of them are humble, and some of them are narcissists. Hey, we'll just give them a better word than just a diva or something like that, But if you ever had the chance or had the chance to talk to new artists that are either, modest or even too big-headed, what is some of the advice that you would give them? Because it's almost as if you're talking to yourself when you had those doubts and you had those times where you really thought you were the one. And there has to be a balance there. There has to be a conversation that you wish you probably would have had with yourself that you would have with new musicians now. What is some advice that you would give them?
My first piece of advice would be never give up. Never stop believing in yourself and believing in what you do. My second piece of advice would be get a publicist right away. Do not pass go. Do not collect the $100. Get a publicist and pay that publicist to get your name and your material out to the world. It makes a huge, huge, huge difference. And then just keep writing and just keep putting that stuff out there. Do not stop putting it out there.
Jeff, that is encouraging and things like that. But I really, my show is based on trying to help the unsigned artists. And I'm sure that you're willing to help out here. The benefits of a publicist and why an artist should just in a few sentences, can you please let them know what is the benefits of a publicist?
Okay, so you can write and record a record and put it up on, go to CD Baby and put it out to the world and put it on Amazon and put it on Apple and put it on Spotify, but nobody's ever going to hear it. Nobody will ever hear it except you and your friends. But if you get a publicist who can promote your music and get you interviews and get you written interviews and magazine articles and radio play, the next thing you know, people, it starts slow, but people pick up on that and they'll start, it'll start to rally. And the next thing you know, people are actually digging your music and hearing your music. That's the biggest thing ever. You can have lots of music, but if nobody gets to hear it, it's like if a tree falls in the woods, did it make any noise? Well, who knows? Your music has to get out there.
Yes. Jeffrey Friend representing Ludlow Creek. Thank you so much for coming on here and talking to us.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Been a pleasure.
If you guys need more information, want to talk to Ludlow Creek's personally, just go to ludlowcreek.com. All their information is there. They are an active band, so they'll get to you as soon as possible. I'm sure that they have shows coming up this summer, which is an incredible deal. I'm making a trip to the Midwest, so I will be paying attention to the calendar.
Cool.
I will be.
Great to see you.
I'll be there like, yo, Jeff, tell him where's the cooking at. But anyways, I won't have any of that American whiskey on me. But anyways, thank you so much, Jeff. And bless the incredible band you guys got going there. We are talking a lot, guys, but in reality, it's all about What About Love. It's out there right now. I'm sure they're gonna drop a video soon. And if you haven't checked their video out, like go watch Stony
Lonesome Road, baby.
Go watch Stony Lonesome Road, and you'll understand life. All right. Thank you so much, Jeff. We'll talk soon.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it's been an honor. Peace, love, and understanding. What about getting along even when we disagree? What about the praise? Putting a smile upon your face. We can make this world a better place. What about love? What about peace, love, and understanding? What about getting along even when we disagree? What about the race? Putting a smile upon your face. We can make this world a better place. When we start with love. When we start with love. When we start with love. When we start with love.
Follow QSJ Radio Keep connected with us. Twitter and Instagram. Dig that. Follow at QSJ Radio.
Wow. Big shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com, Ludlow Creek. Thank you so much for coming on here, talking, getting reckless with us. You already know the deal. If you guys want to know, in 2013, this group of seasoned musicians and friends came together as a cover band for a live performance as the band Southbound. An album, Hands of Time, followed in 2015 as the music continued filling clubs and event venues with southern and classic music in the rock genre. Mid 2019 brought a renewed interest in writing a new wave of classic rock with original music. The name Southbound could no longer contain them. Songwriting has taken a turn on the road, and the music followed. And then, COVID. Live music was hard to come by, but writers have to write, and players have to play. What might have been constrictive to others was suddenly full of possibilities for a group of creatives with a new identity to live into, to live into. Virtual sessions and quarantining for group work kept them together. A retreat to Nashville for writing in a loft full of possibility and promise brought inspiration and progress. It wasn't easy, and it wasn't quick. But now, 5 individuals, passion and combined creativity harmoniously as one continues. Never a formula. The music is always genuine. Thank you, Ludlow Creek, for coming on QSJ Radio. Thank you, Rock Barn Records and MTS Management, for letting us introduce and expose and love and cherish and rock out to some of your artists. And it's been amazing. Make sure you guys check out Ludlow Creek at ludlowcreek.com. Check them out. They got their videos there. They got their shows. They got their news. They got their EPKs for everybody else watching. This has been your host, Traffic Light from QSJ Radio. I hope you guys are good. And it's all mad love.
They should never gave this to the mic. Here we go. He's killing it. Watch out. He's so in love and he's mad about it. Mad love. That's why we say. Come on, man. You already know. Mad love.